China has lifted its final bans on Australian beef. That means the last of Beijing's trade blocks should be gone by the end of this year. Our Asia correspondent Stash Butler reports.
Australian beef is back on the menu in China after 4 years of restrictions. Beijing says the last 2 abattoirs still banned since the COVID-era trade war can start exporting again.
This is really good news, whether you're a grain farmer in Western Australia, a winemaker in South Australia, or a beef producer in Queensland. This is really good news.
The news comes 2 weeks after Prime Minister Anthony Albanese spoke to China's President Xi Jinping at the APEC Leaders Summit. Canberra is calling it a win for trade and a win for Australian jobs.
What we know is if you're an export-focused company, your profits are higher, but the wages of your workers are also higher.
It means China has now agreed to lift all the blocks it imposed in 2020 and 2021 after former Prime Minister Scott Morrison called for an inquiry into the origins of COVID-19.
It's important that we get these tariffs off and that they stay off, but we should never, as a country and a sovereign nation, sell out our values because of economic coercion.
Beijing has signalled it's keen to move on.
China is willing to work with Australia through dialogue and consultation to properly settle our issues so that the bilateral ties will become more mature and deliver more benefits to our two peoples.
The last sector still waiting for access to the world's second largest economy is rock lobster, which once sent 95% of its stock to China. Trade Minister Don Farrell says his Chinese counterpart assured him that lobster exports would restart by the end of this month in time for the Chinese New Year, bringing nearly half a decade of trade tension to an end. Stash Butler, Sky News, Taipei.